Hello everyone. In this session we'll understand what is basically is struct or struct keyword in C#. Struct, or it is known as structure in C#. Okay, so this is the video all about. So structure is basically simple composite data type. It consists of different elements of different other data types, can be of integer, string, real floating data types, or any other. Okay, so it is a value type, it is not a reference type. Okay, so whatever the declaration you are doing, like integer array, integer d equals to 10, then it is going to be saved inside a stack. Okay, not in the heap. Okay, that we had seen in our boxing and unboxing version. Okay, so it contains many other things like indexers. It can be used as constructors, properties, methods, and many more. Don't worry about these indexers, constructors, and properties, and I hope you know methods, but don't worry about these indexer, constructors, and properties, as we haven't covered yet. But in the future videos, I'll definitely cover this up in a great detail. Okay, so it can be constants, and many more. It means many other data types. Okay, so it contains those things. For this session we will understand what is struct and how can we about the syntax and other things. We will also see how exactly we can construct this struct with our methods. Okay, so let's go to my Visual Studio. To create the syntax, or the basic idea of or the basic structure or the syntax of the struct keyword is, go ahead and it is very similar to that of the class declaration. Whatever the class you are declaring here, in a very similar way you have to declare the syntax of the struct. You can make it out over here. So I have struct here. Okay, and then use any variable here of your own choice. So I'm taking new struct. Okay, and then curly braces and use in a very similar to that of class structure. So you can see there is no difference at all. Struct, class, new struct, and the program variable. Okay, so these are the variables, and it is having a curly braces opening and one is ending it somewhere. Okay, so this is very similar. Okay, so this is my structure of the syntax of the structure of structure. And now if I go ahead and put my variables over here, and let's say if I have modifier as public integer x, and I have another variable public int y. Okay, so these are my two data types, and their the variable integer x and integer y. Okay, now how do I basically call them in my main method? You need new structure and its object, or the instance of that thing. You can do with the help of the object instances. You can call directly the new struct here, and then ns, whatever the object name you want to put here. So I had taken ns equals to new struct. Okay, and then with the help of this object, now you can call this x and y, okay, directly. So I go ahead and write ns dot, and you can see the IntelliSense will show you the x and y. Just call them out. So nx here, nx dot ns dot x, and then you can give them a value of 10, let's say, and then ns dot y, and you can give them a value of 20. Okay, and then what you need is basically one result. So you will take integer and put result as a variable, and just take ns dot x plus ns dot y. Easy. This is basically a very simple example. Now just print this into the right line, console dot right line, put the result over here. Problem. I think this is the simplest example of struct. I go ahead and run, it will give me the 30, and you can see, okay, this is basically the structure. Easy. You just need one similar version of this class. You need the struct, and then inside that you are declaring the data types, that is integer x and integer y, and then you need the instance of this new struct. So you create one object here, new struct, and then go ahead and just give the give the give the values over here. ns.x equals to 10 and ns.y equals to 20. Just save it into some other value, other data type, that is int result equals to ns.x plus ns.y, 10 and 20. You're just saving the result, that is 30, and you can print it out that into the console.write line. Okay, now you cannot actually declare, or you cannot initialize your values over here. So if I go ahead and put my values here, integer x equals to 10, and you put integer y equals to 20, you cannot basically do this. And if you try to run this, it will give you an runtime error. You can see, okay, this new struct x cannot have an instance field initializer in struct, so you cannot initialize over here. So to do this, there is one alternative method you can do. So you can use static. So public static integer x and public static integer y. Now this is going to be worked, no problem at all. But now we need to change some things from here, because static keyword doesn't need any instances. You can directly call this x and y inside the console.write line. You can print that out, so I don't need these things. Okay, directly go to console.write line, just put the ns dot x and then ns dot y, no problem. Okay, why this is not working is because, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I had taken the object. I don't need any object. I just can call directly the new struct, the structure name dot x, you can see, and then I need the new struct dot y. Sometimes it is confusing, but yeah, this will work and it will give me no error. You can see build succeeded, and if I run this, you can see the 30 as a result. So what I did is, I cannot initialize here without this static keyword. So we did that, and we get an error that you cannot initialize the values in the structure. So I use a static keyword here, and now with this static keyword I don't need any instance of this new struct. I don't need any object, so I can directly call this structure in my main method, new struct.x, new struct.y, and we had seen the result as 30. Okay, so this is your structure. Now we'll see that how can we use this struct with our method. Okay, so let's say I have this structure as new struct, and then I had declared some values, that is integer x equals to 10 and integer y equals to 20. Okay, and then basically what I'm gonna do, I'll create two, let's say if I give two methods over here, I'm gonna take two methods. So I'm gonna take two methods over here inside this struct, public static, public void, and then let's say if I have a method save, inside that I have integer a and integer b, and then inside that I'll just I'll do nothing. I'll just assign this to my x and y. So if I have x equals to a and then y equals to b, I'm doing nothing actually. I'm just making this assignment operator. I'm doing nothing. So it is x equals to a and y equals to b. This is it. Now I'll use another method, that is, I'm just giving you an idea that how can we use this struct with my method. So I have public static, let's say I have another method, that is public static void display, and then inside that I'll save my result. So I have integer, and then let's say if I have integer result equals to x plus y, and I want to print it. So console.write line, and I'll print result. You can see, okay, but it is not yet completed because we have our main method, which is the starting point, the main entry point, and I have nothing here. So what I'm gonna do here, basically we have no we basically have this static method inside this. So we can create one instance. You can create this, as I told you, there is no need, but we'll create one instance. Let's say if I have new struct, you can create actually a new struct, and then you can call the first one, because I need to call my method here, so I need one object of my structure. So ns dot save, this is my first method. Inside that, what I need is integer a and integer b. Okay, so I'll give you the values here. So this values integer a and b. So now if I give here as, let's say if I give 100 and here I give 200, so these 100 and 200 going to be saved inside x and y. So ns dot save, I have 100, and then you can see integer b give me 200. Okay, now the execution goes to the second method, that is display. So here I don't need to create, I do not need this object. I can directly call my new struct, and you can see there is our display method, and inside that what I need is nothing, because it is just there is no argument here, so I don't need anything. Okay, and now if I run this, basically what exactly the output you will get is simple. I think this is simple mathematic. It is, the output is nothing but 300. You can see there is 300 here. So this is how you can use your structures with a method. You had create two methods and you are doing nothing but just adding the values. There is 10 and 20, but instead of that we assign 100 and 200 to x and y, and then we are saving it and calling it in our main method. Okay, so I hope you understand it. Thank you so much for listening me.